robust urban garlic flavor.
So here I was going to make a video about Phil trying to sue everybody again, but I found this clip instead, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Why not look at this? So here is Phil ranting about how the trolls and detractors have ruined his positive streams. And he's acting like it's a positive thing when it's really something that, you know, the trolls are going to take a victory lap over.
Robust content. That's right. It is robust. Out with me and talking than me playing some kind of a hardcore game where I have to dedicate myself to get good and I'm dying constantly and there's raging and everything at it. It just doesn't work anymore. Here's why. This kind of content did used to work. Okay? People would come to my streams and flood them with views. Of course, it would be trolls, but still, they would watch the streams. I would get views, I would get ad revenue, I would get engagement on my content. My channel would hit related search because I was playing a game that would get a ton of attention because I was raging at it. Whether it was a FromSoft Soulsborne style game, whether it was a new online fighting game, whether it was an online FPS, these kind of rage bait games would bring people to the channel.
Yep, he is not lying about this. People actually went to watch his Elden Ring playthrough. I don't know why, because it's not edited whatsoever, but people were like, hey, I'm gonna watch and laugh at Phil for at least 5 minutes.
Today, illegal restreamers literally stream the content the same time I do. The trolls just go to their channels, and they get the views, and they get the support, and I get nothing. Okay?
Yeah, so Phil is losing viewership because of Raw Phil and all the other restreamers, but Phil has to realize most of the people watching him before were there to clip him. Now they just clip Raw Phil. But the thing Phil won't tell you about the clippers is that Raw Phil has been doing this for about the same time, or is longer than those rage bait games. Like, he was doing this in 2022, so like, why is this shift suddenly happening now, if that's even a thing in the first place?
So because they're breaking the law and they're live restreaming me, which is not allowed anywhere. It's not allowed anywhere. It's against terms of service to live rebroadcast someone without explicit permission. You can't do it. Okay?
Yeah, Phil is a very odd thing going on. Like, he's a sporting event that people want to see, and people are just pirating the entirety of the thing. It's kind of wild that it's going on. And Phil won't copyright claim these people, so they keep doing it, and they just keep getting a following, because if you're there every day, people are like, oh, I can go to this chat to make fun of Phil. It becomes a routine. It becomes a ritual. And then Phil's left with the bag, because all he has are his 6 fans that chat, and then everybody else is like, he's about to do something stupid, let's watch.
Because they do it and they steal from me, I don't benefit from it anymore. Like I said, in the last week, take a look at my streams. Okay? Last night, what did we do? We hung out on Steam. Okay?
He's investigating whatever this thing is on Kick.
Someone is dropping a whole bunch of support, but it's an offensive name. They said the Snorth Fourth is mine. I think they're trying to make it sound like the Snort Fort is mine.
Well, they got you to say it, so mission accomplished there, Phil. It's probably a whale of yours, because they know if they stop paying, your condo is going under.
I mean, it's not. First of all, there's nothing called a Snort Fort. And number two, it's not yours. Even if you were to call my home the Snort Fort, it would be mine.
For now, until you get your credit back and manage to bury yourself in debt once again.
Anyway, so continuing on, basically in the last week, let's actually look at what has been popular on my channel, shall we? Okay, last night we just hung out on Steam, looked at a bunch of horror games, bought a few and played them randomly. Lots of hangout sessions, the vibe, interaction. Chill with Phil. I do a stream of chilling with Phil, and I make 4 times more money than when I was playing Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Within an hour, by the way.
I've said this before, and I'll say this again like I do with every other video, but Phil is finally coming to terms of realizing, hey, my viewers want me to talk with them and be interactive, because I call myself an interactive streamer all the time, but when I'm playing a game, I'm not interactive. And he's like, oh, the trolls love me sucking at games. But yeah, in my case, I enjoy this, because it's a lot easier to make commentary out of this than on a random game, because if you're doing commentary on a game, it's like, ah, Phil sucks. That's about it. Or at least least that's about as much as I can bring to the table.
This is what I mean. Even the podcast. When I do the podcast, which I don't do every day anymore, when I finally do the podcast, it does well. This person just gifted 25 more subs. Here's the question. Do you guys think this is real? I mean, it is real, but do you think this is a troll who's then going to pull everything? I'm just curious. I wonder, because I don't know who this is. Apparently, this is brand new. Let's take a look. It says weekly top gifter. Yeah, this is... Yeah, they've never gifted before. This is a brand new account. Like, literally, this is a brand new account. People are saying it's Iron Chef Sakai. I mean, even if it is, what's the point? What's the end goal of sending me 30 gifted subs and hitting the goal already? Like, what?
That's why I refer to him as Iron Sakai, because he thinks giving you all his money is just owning him, because he has so much money to burn. He probably doesn't care because he knows you're spending it on champions, so it just goes down the drain anyway. I mean, if you're looking at it like, oh, he's saving other people from giving him money, but it's like the whale, so who cares?
You literally just gave me a lot of money. Thanks, I guess. I'm lost. Anyway. To get back on track, because we got distracted by this, right? So, in the last week, the most successful streams that I have done, all right, have been me hanging out with you.
I want to add the major caveat where the most successful streams were the ones that were wailed out upon by Only Iced Coffee and his sock accounts.
Chill games where we can interact and talk, okay? Or streams where we're just shooting the shit. It's not, oh, Phil's playing the rage bait games anymore. They did used to work. They absolutely did back in the day. We're talking the early days when I moved to Washington, that whole first, I would say decade even, of me doing things like Dark Souls. So probably like maybe you can argue 2012 all the way through like 2022, 2023. But what's happened is in the last couple of years, people have more enjoyed hanging out with me and being chill than the rage.
So, Phil, your thesis here is people got tired of making fun of you, and now they want to interact with you, okay? Who for years had something on his vlogging channel called Ask the King, or, the King of Hate vlogs and things like that. You've always been a Q&A type of guy occasionally. But what you did with that was so stupid because you had pre-filtered questions instead of people being able to ask you stuff on the spot, because then they would be less likely to give you money for it.
People even say, man, you're getting too angry at a game. We don't like that anymore. We want to see you actually enjoy yourself. Okay? Now, there's some exceptions. There's sadly just going to be some games that aren't going to work. For example, old school JRPGs and stuff, it almost never works.
Yeah, because you are boring at those games, and Only Iced Coffee does not want to support them. So you have a problem where the whales aren't going to pay for the support.
It sucks. Like, I played Sweet Code N2, and I got halfway through, and we had to stop. I want to go back to it at some point, but, like, what are you going to do? There's not much that you can do. You just got to shrug, like, well, I love the game. It is a social experience, but no one shows up for it, right? But, in general, people just seem to like hanging out on the channel. Why is American Truck Simulator the longest-running successful stream that I've done this year?
Because you are barely picking up a controller, Phil. Your gents today are like, hey, we hate Phil gameplay more than ever because he's become more boring than ever. So we just want to chat with him instead because we find that more interesting. His skills and everything have deteriorated so much that even Phil doesn't want to play games anymore.
It is. Take a look. I've done something like 50 hours of American Truck Simulator, and almost every stream we've hit the goal. I think there's only very few we didn't. So,
yeah, Phil was so happy about the support he was getting for that game that he immediately wage quit it last month when he did hit the goal one time, and he was like $30 away from the goal. He was too busy singing karaoke songs from the 90s really poorly instead of begging for money, and that's what happened.
There you go, right? So, here's the thing. You might say, well, that sucks because I really like to see Phil rage.
Phil, you rage on your non-gameplay sections all the time. You just don't even realize it.
Well, you have one group of people to blame for the fact that I'm not going to do that kind of content. My trolls and detractors who steal my content. Every idiot who illegally restreams me Every moron who literally just rips my content and reposts it on their channel with a title that's defamatory, it's their fault.
Yeah, you see, I completely ruined all of Phil's gameplay content by mainly making commentary videos about his podcasts and his daily raps and when he was begging for money. I totally destroyed him being able to play video games and making money off of it. All of his videos were like, yeah, we saw Robust Urban Garlic's videos, and we're like, yeah, we're never gonna donate to Phil ever again. All of that totally happened.
Because normally the people who watch that content would have watched it on my channel and I would have profited from it. And I would have said, oh, it makes sense. Let's make more. Okay, let's play more Battlefield. Let's play more rage-inducing fighting games, right? Let's do that. Like right now, if I was actually getting views, attention, and support on Street Fighter 6, maybe I would have played more Street Fighter 6. But if you didn't know, it dried up.
Let's be real. Phil doesn't care if his audience is 300 people versus 200 people. He cares if the whales are donating big bucks for games. If they are not doing that, he is going to pull games. Some games he has a long leash. Others, he has a very short leash. And Street Fighter 6 was a very short leash one because he knew everybody was laughing at him. And I think that's what part of this is. He just doesn't want to be laughed at. So he's like, okay, if I do something completely boring, nobody will care. It's kind of like how Wings does things where he tries to make his streams as boring as possible. Like if you watch a Wings clip, I did that for the DSP video, it's boring. It's just padded with nonsense and garbage. It's like, who actually watches that unless they're doing something else and they have it on in the background?
People weren't caring about Street Fighter 6. They only wanted to see me rage at it, and that the views would go to the trolls.
And hilariously, while he was playing Street Fighter, he had that engagement thing that made no sense because he just privated the stream afterwards, where he tried to get 100 likes at every stream, so he would blow bubbles. So people were in his chat asking for bubbles, and he got so upset about it. He raged at them. He yelled at them.
So 100%, the blame for that content not existing anymore is them. And now, of course, they'll say, well, now we're not going to have any more content like that to benefit from. Yeah, but it's your fault because you got greedy. Because instead of playing fair and playing ball and doing this in a way that it benefits everyone.
Yeah, you see, you gotta pay the troll toll to get into Phil's snort hole. You gotta pay the toll to get in. I'm sure since the Kino arc that has renewed interest in Phil, so I'm positive there's about like 3 times of the amount of channels that were doing this on Phil since last year. And the thing is, a lot more of them are getting attention now because Phil is a more in-demand topic, at least amongst the trolls, than last year.
I.e., you clip it after the fact and you edit it to be a transformative work and you make a montage of the worst moments, which is what you used to do. That took effort, right? That actually took time, effort, skill to do. Now you just rip it raw.
And it's like, I really don't think people that are tuning into those live streams are actually paying attention to Phil's stupidity. I think they're just talking in the chat and reacting, and Phil is secondary. Because I can't really rattle my head around it because I doubt those people are hanging out from beginning to the end of Phil's stream. Well, I know because Raw Phil is starting these streams earlier and earlier and people are just hanging out in the chat section.
Which is illegal. And you put it on your channel illegally. Your entire channel violates YouTube's terms of service. It is a community guidelines violation to do what you're doing. Okay?
Yeah, for anybody who says it's transformative, you can't just rip an entire video of Mr. Beast, put it on your channel, just give it an alternate title, and then say, oh, this is my own work. Because Mr. Beast is going to sue you, and he's going to win, or he's more likely going to use the copyright tool, and the copyright tool is going to get you taken down and your channel demonetized. Phil, in his infinite wisdom, doesn't do that because he's a 220 man.
And since you do that, I'm not going to give you the content anymore. It's your fault. You go f yourself because you already did. You already f yourself. By getting greedy, by doing this outright theft, that's why you're not getting your content anymore.
Yep, Phil is gonna give you no rage bait content anymore. Silk Song.
Okay? So there you go. No more content for you, you dumb. It's your fault. You have no one to blame. Look at yourself. You're the... Put the clown makeup on in the mirror because you deserve it.
Yeah, listen up, trolls. You totally lost because you stopped Phil from playing a certain type of game. Phil, you don't get trolls. They want to destroy you. This is a victory for them.
There's no reason for me to stress myself out and play these games anymore when I can benefit doing other things. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yup, you see, Whale A over here is not gonna support this here darn game, so I'm gonna play this here game over there. You see, the whale wants me to be as boring as possible so nobody's watching and he has me all to himself.
And you can eat it. You can sit and spit on a cactus for all I care. Because I don't care about you, I care about me and my viewers. And my actual positive supporting viewers, they want to just chill. So you're gonna get chill content you don't like and your viewership doesn't want to see because you stole the content that you wanted to see and I didn't get anything out of it. It's your fault. Okay?
Yeah, you see this here darn thing here, you better pay up $300 a day or he's not gonna do what you want. Except he never does what you really want anyway, and he's just gonna do what he wants and he's gonna pretend that he did.
So, yes, I probably would have played more Battlefield and tried, except there's no point. I'm not going to bother with it anymore. Oh, well.
Let's be real. This was not about the views. It was about the money. It didn't hit a goal on the beta. And he's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm playing this game. Then he buys the game anyway because he's always going to buy the game anyway. And then it doesn't get supported because who would have thunk? Good job.
So I'm sorry to those who actually did like Battlefield. But to be honest, I'm not playing for my trolls. I'm trying to play for my positive viewers. My positive viewers have outright made it known we don't like seeing you play this game.
So here's the thing with DSP. Is this real? Is his positive viewers, aka the people that gave him tons of money, have told him this in public and in private? Or is it something that he is just saying they are? Or is it something that he told them and they're like, yes, dear leader? Because there's always that caveat there with Phil.
In fact, they even said play Call of Duty when it comes out, because when you play Call of Duty, you can get fun kill streaks, score streaks going. You use a variety of weapons because they unlock fast. You're doing melee kills, you're doing sniping kills, you're doing LMGs, you're throwing explosives, you know, it's fun. Battlefield is like watching paint dry because all you do is die and rage. Die and rage is stupid. So, okay. That's it. Done. No more Battlefield, no more of that nonsense. Okay? Okay, cool. Excellent.
He cut something out there. I don't know what it was. It's usually a long pause because Phil has a lot of those. Sometimes he catches them, sometimes he doesn't, but I have no idea. The funny thing is like, oh, Phil, you don't like playing this game. Your attitude bleeds into the stream, and then your audience is like, I'm not going to support this because he's just moaning and complaining. It's not funny. It's only funny laughing at him. Like, why am I going to support him that way? And then he doesn't get support, and then he whines about not getting support, and the cycle continues. He's a genius, isn't he?
All right, so, yeah. Now, I will play Call of Duty next month. It is on Game Pass. I played the beta, and I'll be honest, I actually thought the beta was going to suck. Because I thought that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was going to have double jumping, wall running, all that nonsense. It does have wall jumping, but that's it. It doesn't have the other stuff. So, it was actually fun. And it was actually interesting, and we had a good time. So, because of that, I am going to play it next month, and hopefully it turns out to be a good game in the rotation.
Mind you, he rages at COD so much that his preferred style of playing the game is just camping in this spot where no other player can find him. And let me tell you what the support for the COD beta was. $150, $207, and then $150. So I'm a little surprised that he's fully committing to it, but maybe he thinks it has legs because last year he played it so much. I don't know. Phil, they're still gonna roast you for COD. Are you an idiot? Like, that's exactly the type of game that they're looking for. So you're not fully doing what you think you're doing because you're just an idiot. You're still gonna rage over any game, and it's funnier, honestly, when it's like the Kirby's, the Pokemons, the Marios, because it makes you look like an even bigger baby.
Just like Black Ops 6 was. The good news is now I'll be playing it on mouse and keyboard day one. So that'll be exciting because I actually played much better when I put down the controller and I started playing on mouse and keyboard. So we'll see how that goes, okay? Okay, but that's it for Battlefield. Sorry. If you were someone who liked Battlefield, obviously I apologize, but I'm not going to give the content to those who don't deserve it, who steal it from me. I get nothing out of this content. My actual positive supporters did not come by to support Battlefield, so I'm done with it. Okay. And that's that. By the way, Battlefield apparently sold a ridiculous amount of copies. Actually, I think so. They were saying like 3 million or something like that, which is insane. That's wild that a game coming back out of retirement like that would have like 3 million sales in the first week. So good on them. Team-based shooter. And I've even said this. I don't think there's anything wrong with Battlefield 6. It's a great team-based shooter. It's got sound mechanics. It actually has good graphics. The one thing I would complain about is the wonkiness of the physics, that there are some weird physics glitches in the game that make the game look a little bit weird and unpolished. But for the most part, it seems like a great game. I'm not going to play it anymore. It's not for me. Team-based is not for me. Sitting there investing endless hours to unlock guns, you know, dying nonstop, and people just, quick clip farm it. You. Now you get nothing. It's your fault.
If I had $1 for every time he said, now you get nothing, I'd be swimming in cash at the moment.
Again, it's all about greed. If these people had done it within rational means, like, okay, every once in a while I do it, but no, they literally steal every stream. They steal every video I put out, so I'm just not going to give them anything anymore. Oh no, Phil did another boring stream where he hung out with his audience and hit his goals. Well, that's not fun to restream. Well, off.
Yeah, his dream is just to leave the chair there, have a voice recording just loop say, give me money, give me money, give me money, and only has coffee giving him $150 each and every stream. He would love that.
Don't restream then, stupid. It's not my fault that you ruin the content for yourself. Okay. So thank you, Red Eyes Black Dragon did a $2 super chat and said, Phil's laying down the law and telling how it is. Yeah, I'm not around anymore. I'm not stupid. I'm not wasting time. I have so many things going on right now. We have so many games that I'm trying to juggle and get through and play. This week alone, we have so many new games coming out. I don't need to play Battlefield. It was hilarious that last night, literally just looking at Steam and playing 2 random games, we hit and exceeded my support goal. Playing Battlefield, we couldn't even get like halfway to the goal.
Yeah, that was another jump cut, so I don't know what he put there. If I actually wanted to do that, I'd just go on the kick stream, but there's no pig go for the kick stream because the kick streams expire. So we're up the creek without a paddle on that one. Yeah, this is another woe is me self-pity rant, and it's like, come on, Phil. Anyone with a brain can see right through this. And it's like, come on, we all know Roger is the main whale giving you money, so what he wants, he gets. Mario Kart World where you rage, he gets. Silksong where you rage, he gets. He doesn't want Battlefield? Oh well, Battlefield is gone. Call of Duty where you rage, he gets. He has to make everything about the trolls because it soothes him. What he doesn't understand about that is that the trolls are just going to double down and say, hey, we're going to continue to hyperfixate on Phil because it's fun to do so. And they're kind of waiting to see how the train will continue to go off track. And Phil will continue to repeatedly punch himself in the face because that is one of his favorite pastimes. He just thinks he's helping himself when he's hindering his potential growth as a streamer. Now he's just beholden to only his coffee and all the other whales that decide to give all their money to him. Phil, your contemporary Moist Critical turned off ads on his live streams because he makes enough because he has such a huge audience. You are just scratching for pennies. And yes, I know it's an indirect comparison because Critical makes like $1,000 each video based on how much views he gets, but Phil, for all his time on this platform, has sucked up a lot of money and threw it down a hole. That's basically the 220 history in a nutshell. And that's why Phil is framing it as the trolls shooting themselves in the foot because he wants to paint himself as a success, so his fans don't think of him as a joke. If his fans think of him as a joke, then he becomes a joke to everybody, and he can't have that because he does not want to admit that he is the laughingstock of the internet. That's what it's all about. It's about him and his stupid war against the trolls that he's never going to win because he is constantly giving them what they want day in, day out. It is a practical buffet. If he didn't do that, this channel would have to pivot very quickly, very hard. But Phil just does not get that. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this trip around the 220 Sun, and I will see you all next time. Please like and subscribe so I continue to feed Jasper Kitty or something, I don't know. He's on the inside looking out. This is Robust turning off the station.
Jeff did a $5 tip. He says, I want to hear you say robust bourbon garlic flavor, like how you said robust urban garlic flavor. I never said robust urban garlic flavor. I said bourbon, not urban. How dare you? How dare you insinuate that I would say the word urban? I'm white. I can't say urban. It's offensive. You understand? That's how it works. Okay. All right, we're now up to $325 of support.